I was certain you would come.
Bulldor.
Bulldor. You've lost yourself in your twisted dreams of what the Scorpion might offer you. Take a good hard look at yourself now. Do you still see one of the humanoids you wanted to save?
Humanoid? Of course not. The power the Scorpion possess is divine. In joining them, I am now closer to a god than mortal.
Our kind and the Scorpion are but life by different forms. None of us living can claim ourselves gods.
And there is no need for any of you to be. My only desire is for you to join us and live your lives in a whole new world, one free of sickness and conflict. As Emperor of Vale, it is my duty to lead my people to peace. And in becoming the Scorpion's god, I can finally fulfill my duty.
Your current existence is no different from an android like myself. Constructed by humans, given life through technology, we will never be gods.
Listen to yourself. Are the gods of history not but man-made creations? Then surely you would agree that the most godlike among us now is either you or myself.
You're a paltry excuse for one. Man cloaks himself in knowledge and power taken from others and mistakes himself an idol. You are just one of many who litter the pages of our history.
Yes, correct. And even with all the technological advancements we've seen, your story is quite common.
History itself will determine my divine status. Once the whole universe is one with the Scorpion, we shall be omnipotent. We shall become God.
Well, it'll be impossible for you to become one, since we're here to make sure that never happens.
The universe needs not such a deity. If there is anything divine in this world, it is but the flame of life inside of all of us.
Mortal life has always feared the unknown. A fear of the divine is only natural.
Yet fear you will not find in us, nor a thought spared for the desecration you speak of.
Many times since my youth, I have offered up my prayers. Yet though I called to God for help, it was never but by the hands of man that I was saved. If a true God were to be born here today, mankind would surely lose their essence. So you will understand why I must stop you.
We're not going to get anywhere arguing about this. Are we, Bulldor?
Let's just beat him up already.
A sentiment I find agreement with.
As mortals, we stand more powerful than the god you claim to be.
Princess Laeticia, it is precisely that fiery spirit of yours which Scorpion so desperately needs. Join me, my new daughter.
Detecting incoming attack.
Time has come for you to learn your place. Behold, the infinite power of a god.
I do like this final boss design. This Bulldor transformation is pretty cool. Alright, Bulldor, let's see how you how this goes on Chaos mode. Alright, I'm still doing a lot, so it's not gonna be, I don't think it'll be overly difficult, at least. I'm frozen, help. There's also a lot of dialogue that plays here.
You approach meant to find those suited to join us, but now deny our very way.
Get the tail.
I have determined the need to change in Scorpion ideology is necessary. An evolution
Oh, knocked him down, let's go.
Rather than form.
You too would see the birth of an all-new Scorpion.
Next scale, go.
Then we are at a standstill, harboring visions wholly incompatible.
Yeah, getting the tail does wonders.
Let us see then which path
Ideally, I want this fight to go as long so all the dialogue goes through. There is a lot of dialogue that plays here. I think it's like as you damage him too, though. Theo, are you down already? Mistral, go! I need more AP to do better combos. Come here. I'm gonna try to guard you. One guard. Hey, Bulldor. Attack me. There we go, got a guard. One more, maybe? There we go. That should be enough to combo a Supernova. Help. Nina, oh, you're dead. That's why you're not doing anything. I was so confused for a second. Help, lots of fire.
Do not disappoint me further.
Oh, dear. Yeah, he's getting insane now. Get up, get up. Oh, you have quick usage. Thank goodness.
Think you can escape?
Yeah, he puts the field on fire, which is honestly the hardest thing about this fight. Hey, Bulldor. Stop? I'm running for my life.
External temperature rising.
Yeah, I noticed that. We're gonna need a VA. A VA will do so much.
The chance of survival dropping.
Heal fast, heal fast. There we go.
Immediate heat required.
Oh, you froze it. He's going like down. Alright. I need a VA. I'm gonna use Laeticia's because of course I am. It's also fitting that she's here because this is her story and all. I most certainly used Ray in my original playthrough. I don't actually remember, but I bet I used Ray. Like, why wouldn't I? Alright. Get the all-in. I want to get the all-in and get the tail. Just do it. Damage. Alright, did a lot, did a lot. More dialogue. I think if we killed him there, we wouldn't have gotten this dialogue, so I'm kind of glad we didn't.
It's not like we can just wield sheer will like a sword and stab him.
A battle
If
in
only.
this digital realm essentially equates to the use of data traffic to overwhelm your opponent. For organic life forms like yourselves, it may be best to think of this as what you call willpower or resolve.
Mind against mind. Heart against heart. Your refusal to accept Bulldor as God is your weapon against me.
Come now. Join us, my children.
I alone have the knowledge and power to save people from illness. I don't need you interfering.
Nina, calm down. Oh, I'm froze. Dang it.
You and I are disparate beings. I cannot stand your presumption to
Nina, get Laeticia up, please. There's so much talking, but there's subtitles there if you could barely hear them.
Forever be delivered by mine own hand.
Gods are immortal, but are not an existence. We humanoids unfortunately cause war and strife.
Help.
But we too are the ones who bring peace and order.
My past is writ by both my mistakes and atonement. Makes me the man I am today, and can never be taken away.
By my hand, this world stands strong, full with those I love.
The work I do sustains and unites.
No, this cannot be. A god cannot be bested.
Honestly, there was not a better way that could have gotten. Chaos mode was the right call. We got to like the climax of the fight, we got to hear like all the dialogue, and also it wasn't like a pushover. That could not have gone any better way.
Ever hoped to do?
Now we just have the
My
ending.
power as a god, I could bring endless bliss to all life in this world, to all life in the universe. With such power, I will not, must not be beat.
You are Bulldor Ilvale. Man, not God.
I am
How could one possibly know happiness in a world without sorrow to temper it? A world forged from single-minded devotion is ultimately the same as one empty of all.
No, stop that. Stare not at me with those eyes, mortal.
Baldur!
I will not be eradicated. I cannot be. I alone am destined to be your new god and leader.
Behind me, now.
Enough! No more of this! I will not be defeated here! I refuse!
What's going on?
Boldor's will endures and refuses to be erased. Should he continue to resist in this way, this virtual realm will be obliterated with all in it.
Baldur! Cease this at once! The battle is over!
Words are useless. I will do what is needed.
Please, no! My universe yet needs me!
Here we part.
What?
No!
I am unable to maintain your consciousness in this space any longer. With what power I have left, I will see you returned safely.
But what's gonna happen to you?
You possess the potential to both understand the Scorpium and guide them to an enlightened future. Through you, may the seeds of all evolutionary paths for life be sown. I place my faith in you.
Understood. Rest assured.
Laeticia, our journey together was a valuable experience. If there are others with minds as open and accepting as yours, a peaceful coexistence with Scorpium will someday be possible. Thank you, Laeticia, for affirming this for me.
Duma!
My investigation is at its end.
Baldur's wife coming in there is pretty neat.
Is it all over now?
I am inclined to believe it only just begins.
I would agree.
Thank you, little Duma.
Oh, I love this track. And the
We are
scene.
to be a protectorate, then? Yes. As I mentioned before, Aster 4's prolonged contact with more advanced civilizations categorized it as a protectorate of the Pangalactic Federation.
Are we to be subjected to surveillance by an ambassador?
No, nothing quite as direct as that. Aster will remain under observation to prevent any unnecessary interaction with advanced civilizations until it reaches a certain threshold.
Pretty imperious, aren't you? Was that not where the Federation's faults originally lie?
Guess some things are hard to change. And though it might not exactly be compensation, all of you who have been subject to intense intervention now have the option to travel to any Federation system to live or study.
Studying on a different planet. I must say, I don't hate the thought. Right?
Agreed. But I must refuse. I vowed to attend to tasks on this planet using mine own strength. I've had lesson enough. as to the consequences of progression that was acquired through the power of others.
That's true. If I studied medical science at such an advanced level, I'm pretty sure I could save lives all across the universe. But first and foremost, I want to treat the suffering people of this world with my own hands and using our own techniques.
Our journey into the stars must be one born of our own volition. Only then will we find ourselves on equal ground with you and yours.
I see. You know, you're probably right.
But then, what would that mean for us? You spoke of some preservation pact? Does it forbid us from seeing one another again?
Well, I can't speak for Marielle, but Elena and I aren't bound by Federation laws. We can come and go whenever we want.
All things considered, I can probably visit again too, so long as you are the only ones I interact with.
Well, that's great. I think we can all live with that.
Yeah, I mean, if it were up to me, I'd set up a branch of Lawrence Logistics right here in Osarius, and that would let us see as much or as little of each other as we could ever want.
Now is a time for restraint. Surely, the events here have opened your eyes to the importance of the Federation's underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact.
Yeah, I get it. But come on, you gotta at least see how hard that is on a personal level. Don't be so uptight.
I say this with respect to the positions of both Elena and Marielle. But, from my own view, I fail to find fault in Raymond's suggestion.
Wow, Albie, can't say I expected that coming from you.
Spare me. I simply speak for us all.
I wonder if my ancestors also felt the same way long ago.
I think Raymond's gonna talk here, so I can't really review the game yet.
We have a tendency to be fine, after all.
You know, you're a lot more carefree now than you were before.
Laura Post, great job with the drunk scene.
Oh my, who could that be? Did we have someone irresponsible like that around?
Oh yes. At hand, I might say.
Oh yeah? Well... we both got jobs to do, right?
More than I care for, indeed.
If only some god would show up and free us all from the burdens of work life so we could just kick back and have fun.
That Mercer did Laeticia's father?
Says the man bound to place his burdens on the shoulders of poor Chloe and Elena.
Hey, I've become crazy capable after all this. I'm sure they feel like they can just relax and enjoy the ride.
You are free to believe whatever you want.
Ray?
Okay, let's leave it at that.
This is a really cool way to do your credits, by the way. Showing a scene and the credits, like the voice actors.
Stationary orbit.
Also,
Copy that.
I don't want to cut them off.
Yep, best get going before this turns into another pick-on Ray fest.
It
The voice
does
of-
seem about time.
The voice of Baldor is Rowan from Zillia, Todd
This is
Habercorn.
Raymond for the Aldous.
He also does like a bunch of anime,
Commence
I think.
transfer.
I never realized that. Is Ray crying? It sounded like he was tearing up. I think these credits are also gonna have... I think Ray's gonna talk through some of these credits. So I'm gonna have to hold off on talking for a bit. Like, talking extensively about the game and my opinions.
Letty?
I stole ahead, expecting you here.
You certainly are full of surprises.
Theo, I worried you seemed unsettled by the new position you find yourself in.
Do you read minds now, too?
Care to share with me your reservations?
will hear them then? Of course I was left unsettled. Me, Commander-in-Chief of the Trinational Naval Exercises. In what inconceivable world is this possible? Unthinkable.
Oh, now why might you think such?
How could I not?
Is it because you have been a traitor not only to the kingdom, but to the Empire and Malkia as well?
Yes.
I grow tired of such talk, cousin, as do we all. If you ever wish to repent, you may start by seeing this position through.
Am I cut out for such?
You and you alone. Emperor Gerard, Malkia, and myself chose you, well aware of who and what you are. We three determined that our trust would be better placed in no other.
I see. I understand.
I see no other path to redemption, cousin. Lend us your hand for the peace of both our kingdom and our world. So, allow me to confide in you, as in times of old, when the burden is too much for me to bear.
I suspect now I may be the one unable to bear it.
Theo, we have been over this.
No, I simply mean your royal position seems to foster a capacity of which I lack. But perhaps, at the very least, I might find in myself the confidence to serve the throne and its future queen.
Indeed.
Now then, if I might, the weight of the assignment still exhausts me. Might I slumber here?
You may, though do not be long.
Oh, great place to have their character ending.
Albert.
Highness?
I fear I have put you through quite the ordeal during our travels. Know that I am ever grateful.
An honor, Your Highness.
Is something wrong? I speak truthfully.
Yes, I beg your pardon, Your Highness. I doubt not your words. But I do find myself somewhat perplexed.
What with?
Why are the two of us finding ourselves here in Larkus once again?
Albert, must we discuss this anew?
We were to go on a short walk from the royal city, yes?
Is this not short when compared to our travels through the stars?
The two are hardly comparable.
Albie.
What?
I quite meant what I said. I am ever grateful of you. It goes beyond our latest adventure. You have been at my side since we were but children.
That is by my obligation as a knight to the royal family.
And solely that?
Well, I...
Look upon me.
Highness.
Letty. I wish for nothing more than to retrace the steps we once took, to see the world now restored to peace. Just you and I, Letty and Albie.
Highness?
Letty.
Letty.
Thank you. Now, let us be off.
Teaching Albert to say something besides Highness. Oh.
We finally made it here.
Indeed, it has been quite the long journey.
Ooh, I cannot wait!
Well, you would seem fit and ready for battle.
Emperor Gerard.
Fight? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. This is a fight my father and I spent our entire lives preparing for.
My nation's budding new semiomancers find themselves quite eager to learn from Osarius's newest wise man. Please, follow me, if you would.
I am just beat.
Welcome back. Gerard seems to be hosting a welcome banquet in your honor tonight. Shall you be in attendance?
Nope, is what I want to say. But I guess going to stuff like that is important too, huh?
Do try and relax, though. Consecutive 6-hour lectures would tire anyone.
I'm not really looking for breaks. I know that simply making medicine won't work to snuff out Helgar's disease. And I know how much investment the Empire has put in to train Iatromancers, so I need to focus my efforts here too. My dad used to say, neither the mind of a genius or the pockets of a rich man accomplish much alone. Wealth and knowledge find meaning once spread. And here we are, in the Vale Empire, taking the first steps towards eradicating the rot. This is no time to get lazy.
If so you say, but recall even doctors must mind their health.
I'll be okay. And if I'm not, I give you permission to take care of me.
I will accept that as proof you are just fine indeed.
Aww, give me a big hug to charge me up.
Yes, yes, come now, time to go.
Meanie. Dad, I finally made it.
Nina, we must be going.
Oh, coming!
Elena, it is not oft I am visited by you alone.
Apologies for showing up unannounced, but I was in a bit of a hurry.
Worry not. My whole kingdom welcomes you with open arms. I must confess it is somewhat strange to imagine you rushed, however.
I will admit, I find my own actions somewhat illogical.
Well then, if I may be of help, what is it that I might do for you?
Well, actually... you might say I already have what I came for. However, now I wonder, perhaps you could provide me with some insight.
Well, what on Aster is going on? Is it the Federation? Surely not the Centralist remnants.
Do you know where I might find Ray?
Huh?
He goes off alone quite often these days. His actions suggest he is visiting with some woman, so I thought perhaps...
Right,
No, it is perfectly acceptable if he was seeing a woman, but I think that he should not do so in secrecy, behind my back, without informing me. It is upsetting.
Well, now then, Elena.
Yes?
It would seem to me you experience what we term jealousy.
No. No, Laeticia. This is not like that.
You are quite endearing as so.
Laeticia, please!
Now, he did ask that, should you come calling. I never tell you this, you know.
He what?
He occasionally heads off for a dolly all by his lonesome. He goes simply to gaze out over the mountains.
Well...
I've heard from Theo and Maester Midas that men are of occasion wont to be alone, and seek solace in silence and seclusion.
Difficult to comprehend.
Yes, truly.
You found me.
I thought you might be here. Might you please take care to inform someone before you make to travel?
I believe our promise was that I retained complete and total freedom.
Your personal liberties are guaranteed, but when you simply vanish, all the many who come searching for you arrive at my door instead. Think how I feel, forced to track you down.
I'd say I like the thought. I'll make it a habit to disappear more oft.
Maester? Do you regret your return to the Semiomancy Consortium?
Do I look of regret?
I acknowledge it was a rather forced request. While the throne stance is to re-evaluate the actions of the three wise men, there are those less open to new interpretations.
No matter how much the world may change overnight, there will always be minds of men who choose to stay the same.
Which is precisely why, whenever you leave, my father and Director Malthea cannot help but be concerned.
That's even better.
Maester.
Malthea holds the reins at the Consortium and finds no lack for funds. The only one who seems to complain about their work is you. But no, I am in no regret. I simply feel trapped in the city and the castle. So I come this way when I need room to breathe, is all.
Honestly, if so, you need only speak as much.
Why would I do that? One of my enjoyments is seeing you so red and flustered from seeking me out. Well, I won't run now you've found me. I guess it's time to return.
Hold on just one moment. I might ask you explain yourself?
Lieutenant Mariel L. Kenny. You stand accused of stealing a spacefaring vessel, one of the Pan-Galactic Federation's most crucial resources, of hacking the security systems of a space station, of willful disobedience towards your superiors. What does the defendant say to these charges that have been brought forth by the plaintiff?
I offer no objection.
Is that so? Under normal circumstances, that alone would be deemed an admission of guilt and be subject to grave consequences. Admiral Luca Maverick, Captain Curtis Aldridge, the court now asks you to call your witness to testify of Lieutenant Kenny's innocence. Witness, please give your name and testimony.
Laeticia Osarius, of newly established Federation Protectorate Aster 4. I swear to speak naught but the truth, to prove the innocence of Lieutenant Mariel L. Kenny. Goodness, that was quite the ordeal.
Sorry for dragging you all the way out here when you're so busy for that.
For a friend, hardly trouble. And a protectorate though we may be, we must make use of what rights we have as part of the Federation, yes?
Yeah, thanks.
Right. Now then.
Huh?
With your name cleared, you are now free to travel, yes? Let us treat ourselves to something exquisite.
Now there's an idea I like.
Here we are. We made it. Lost your land legs, have you?
I simply never imagined the Fulga might soar so swiftly.
I may have made certain modifications to suit my needs. Invigorating, no?
It does invoke something. Now, where are we?
I told you before we boarded. My most prized hideaway.
So...
Hush now. Occupy yourself with naught but the warmth of the sun's rays, the sounds of the waves, and the blue expanse before your eyes. Nothing else.
Right. But... I was under the impression that we were meant to discuss the future of the Trathan refugees in Osarius?
All leaders need moments such as these.
Come again?
You look worse yet now than when I saw you not long ago. I assume you find little sleep?
Well, only because there is yet much to do.
Few fathom both the scale and importance of what we do, which again is why we must find time to rest. Perhaps it is unbecoming of a mere tribal leader to offer advice to a princess. But know that the stress we carry goes on to affect those we lead.
Malkia.
Do we not want to look back upon it all with pride?
You speak sense. Perhaps I might borrow this space.
Good.
583.
Oh, Marielle
An
talks, not Ray.
crisis for the Pangalactic Federation was resolved with the cooperation of the planets Vergold and Aster IV. However, the corruption which plagued the highest levels of Federation leadership continues to leave its mark on the organization. Amidst growing calls from Federation captains, my grandfather, Emerson T. Kenny, was assigned as interim commander of the Federation fleet. A retired military man, he refused at first, but after much pushback, he took the reins to lead the Federation from its worst crisis yet. Through these troubled events, I've come to question the Federation's purpose in this galaxy, as well as my own function as one of its officers. But I choose to believe that its cause is still just. We must ensure a future of peace. Pan-Galactic Federation Lieutenant Mariel L. Kenny.
The events that unfolded
you
spanned
talked
numerous star systems, though their sovereign was defeated. Remnants of the centralist Scorpium and their invasive measures still remained. Those among the Pan-Galactic Federation who aligned with the Scorpium cause were on the run, but still retained their influence. To combat both these foes, my partner Elena, armed with data saved from Duma's survey, helped us hit the Scorpium network from their own colony. Duma's experiences and noble ideology had a profound impact on the network, and saw the remaining Centralists quickly weakened. And while everything might still be far from wrapped up, it shouldn't be too long now until the Scorpium find themselves on the right track. My hope now is that the Pan-Galactic Federation might find its way too. Captain of the Lawrence logistics ship the Aldous, Raymond Lawrence.
I cannot express how much I like that ending. I really like the ending of this game so much. Oh my word, I really like it. I promise I'm not just saying this because I'm biased, but it's probably my favorite ending of the series. Like, it's a really good ending. I like the idea. My favorite thing about the ending is how they're like, oh, Raymond and Elena are like, oh yeah, like, we're not bound by Federation laws. So they leave it open for interpretation, like, oh yeah, they're gonna meet again someday. Also, the idea of Duma, like, transferring its, like, server or whatever to Elena was really cool. I don't think I praised that last time, but that's a neat way to do it. But yeah, Star Ocean 6 for the second time. Dude, I like this game. This game is good. Honestly, a lot of what I'm going to say is going to be a rehash of when I finished Ray's story, but I still feel the same, basically. This game is still good, great. It's still my favorite Star Ocean game. It's still the best Star Ocean game. It does have problems, but I mean, I still think it's like the best Star Ocean has ever been. It's really good. Really good game. The thing is, like, the story of the game is like not fantastic. I don't think the story is like great or anything. I think the story is the best in the franchise, which isn't really saying much. But even then, the story still has like a couple of shortcomings. Like, it has some really nice themes. The deal of the Scorpium, the way they do Duma in the game is pretty good. It has some really nice themes. Probably my favorite thing about the story is like the idea of how they meld Aster 4 with the space stuff. Like the idea of Bulldor. See, the thing is, Bulldor is not like a great villain. I don't think Bulldor is like the best villain of all time, but I like the angle they went with him. Bulldor was like a man who like sought for power and was like, he was consumed by greed, and he just wanted to become this god, and he used advanced technology to get there, basically. He was like deluded by his greed. I think the way they did Bulldor was fantastic. I don't really care about Bulldor, but I think the way they used him was pretty good. It was definitely the best Star Ocean villain of all time. But yeah, the characters are great. The story is good. The thing is, like, I feel like the characters make this game, but I feel like in the story, they're not utilized that well. Like, the story doesn't really do anything with the cast. If you just were to play this game without the private actions, you'd be like, yeah, it was okay. Unfortunately, as good as the story is, it doesn't really utilize the cast all that well. And that's where the private actions come into play. The private actions are probably one of the best parts of the game narratively. But they're optional scenes. They're like optional sequences between the cast, and they're great to see, but, you know. Overall, I think the story's good. I'd still think the story is a good story. It's not going to win any awards, but I think the story is interesting enough. The second half deals with some really good themes. That being said, I think it's a little brief. I think it's a little short. It's not even that short, but I think it's a little short, and it doesn't really get to flesh out enough. Like, I was talking about this with the Remington stuff, but the Federation was such a cool thing. Like, the Remington stuff and the Federation was so cool. I kind of wish it got more time. Like, Remington didn't really get much screen time, and Mariel's arc is really good, but it could have been more. I just think the second half isn't fleshed out enough, as good as it is. It is like the stronger part of the story, but it still feels half-baked, in a sense. So Nova, you're probably like, Nova, why is this your favorite Star Ocean game? Why is this the best Star Ocean game? It's mostly the cast. The gameplay is also really fun. I think when I finished Ray's playthrough, I said I might prefer the combat of 3, because I didn't understand the combat as much as I did this time, but no, 6 has the best combat, bar none. It is not even a contest. The Duma system is really cool. I love blindsiding. I love the S3 cage. I didn't use S3 cage a lot in my OG playthrough. I got a lot more use out of S3 cage. That was really good. The character playstyles are really fun. Like 7 out of 10 of the 8 out of 10 of the characters are fun. More like 7. Yeah. 7 to 8 out of characters are fun. It's really fun. Combat's really good. The cast is amazing. I don't hate a single character. I like all of them. I like some more than others, obviously. But that's gonna happen. And the story's just good. It's just good. It's just above average for me. Which, you know, it's the best Star Ocean story. It's not really a high award to have. But I think the story has a lot of interesting themes and nuances in it. It doesn't always live up to that potential. But I think the story is good. I think it's pretty good. Now, the elephant in the room, let's talk about Laeticia's story. It doesn't really change much, and the thing is, playing Laeticia's side didn't really make me care about the story that much more. There were some scenes from Laeticia's side. This is going to be Raymond's ending. I'm going to have to talk after.
Let's be willing. Should be any moment now. Yes? I am alone. Yes? Oh.
What's up?
Ray!
Did I keep you waiting?
Ever so slightly.
Hey, you getting enough sleep? I know you're busy and all, but you've got bags under your eyes.
Have I? Goodness me. It is not that I am denied the time to sleep. It was merely excitement and anticipation of our travels today, which left me sleepless through the night.
Seriously, though?
Manners. Might have guessed you would laugh.
There's always time for a little fun, though, right? I'm gonna make sure today's worth missing out on all that beauty sleep.
And this would be...
Welcome to Star Resort Antinoa. I thoughtfully went ahead and made reservations for a special course fit for a tired princess.
We are far from my home now. I am no princess here.
All right then, Letty. Let's you and I buckle up and get this party started.
It's not as cute when you do it. I liked it when that was Baird's thing. Oh, by the way, I don't know how I'm gonna insert the character endings. I don't know where I'm gonna put them in the video. I want Ray's to be the last one. I want this to be like one... I might honestly put them like before the credits. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, sorry about not showing off. Sorry about not doing like the other character endings now. I am hungry. And after doing Nina's, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this like 5 more times. Or 4 more times other than Ray's. Like I'll just record it and insert them in the video. Like I'm really hungry and I didn't want stream to be this long, so I just realized I shouldn't have done this. I do want to see those character endings though. I will, but the chronology is I would have seen them. Like I'll probably put the endings before Ray's. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but either way, the character endings is the best part, so I want to see them. What was I saying? What was I saying? I was saying so. Oh, you know, the game is still good. Still my favorite Star Ocean game. It's got so many little annoyances and problems, but it's still a good game. Laeticia's side. I knew this going in. The story is like 90% the same, so like I don't feel like any differently about the story. Now, there were parts that were more interesting to see from Laeticia's side, like the one scene with Neon. The one scene with Neon was more interesting from Laeticia's side. You got like a better fleshing out of like Theo and Neon's motivations from Laeticia's side. So those parts were more fleshed out. And I'm trying to think to myself like, oh, if that part was more fleshed out with Laeticia, was there a part that was more fleshed out with Raymond's story? And the thing is, like, no, not really. Which is kind of upsetting because I was kind of hoping what they should have done was, I feel like part 2, the space part, should have had like some exclusive Ray stuff. I don't think it did, which is upsetting because not much of the Alcerius stuff was different from Laeticia's side, but there was enough different to be like, oh, it's interesting to see this. But there's not enough different stuff from Raymond's story. So with the Alcerius stuff, I feel like with the Neon and Theo betrayals, you're like, oh, what is happening? Like it kind of just comes out of the blue a little bit. But with Laeticia, you get the same level of understanding as the Scorpion and space stuff in chapter 4 than you do with Ray, unless I'm remembering wrong. But so overall, the story, like, while the Neon and Theo stuff was cool, it didn't really change my opinion of the overall story. I felt the same. I think the story's good. I don't think it's like great. I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. But again, what I really was hoping for with this playthrough was the private actions. And the thing is, like, the private actions, there are some good ones. The main reason you're going to want to play the other protagonist is for the private actions and for the character endings, because the story's like 90% the same. While the private actions, I think there's like mostly new ones. I think 90% of the private actions are different. There's some that overlap, but the mass majority of them are different for each protagonist. And those were nice. That being said, I like Raymond more than I like Laeticia. I don't think Laeticia is bad. I think she's a good character, but I really like Ray as a protagonist. So if you were to ask me like which story I like more, it's probably Raymond's, because I think Raymond had better private actions. I think some of the private actions in Raymond's story were better than Laeticia's. Not to say Laeticia's story doesn't have good private actions, but I think I prefer Raymond's story because I like Raymond more as a character, first of all. And second of all, I think there were some better private actions with Raymond. But Laeticia did have some good ones, especially in the last half, in Chapter 4, some of the good ones. Probably the best part about Laeticia, though, is more Albert. Albert's great. And also Theo. I think Theo is a cool character. Because Theo actually has involvement in the story, so his involvement in the game feels more natural. And also, he's just a lot better than JJ. Where JJ was like a cool idea, but because part 2 is so brief and not that deep, JJ doesn't really feel like anything more than he is. He just feels there. Like, he feels like a concept more than anything. While Theo is already in the story, and you get some really nice moments of him, like, wanting to atone for his mistakes and everything, like, with private actions and stuff. So, I thought Theo was a great character, honestly. He's probably, like, he's not one of my favorites, but he was good. I think he was a good character. A lot better than JJ. But, yeah. That's kind of it. I mean, you know, I still feel the same about Star Ocean 6. I'm really glad I played this game. I'm glad I did as much as I did. I didn't quite do everything. I know we didn't do Ultima Thule, but opening it is a pain, and I have other games to play. Paper Mario comes out in literally 2 days, so it's fine. I think we did a lot. We did basically all the stuff. The private actions and character endings are the thing I care about the most in this story, so we got to see all of those, and that's what really matters. So yeah, you know, Star Ocean 6, great. I'm actually glad I did it this way too. Bulldor at the end, credits, playthrough over. It's a nice reflection of what I did with my original playthrough, where I ended with the Ethereal Queen, which again is not a good fight. But yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna make them all one video. I know I made them separate videos in the original playthrough. That's not what I meant. I meant like how I'm gonna insert them. I'll figure it out. I want the Raymond ending to be last though. So I'll probably put them before the credits or something. However I do it, you will see those character endings. So yeah, great stuff, great playthrough. Glad I came back to this because I've been wanting to play 6 again. I have both protagonists on the channel now. I can't wait to get the platinum for this game on my own time. I'm sure one day I'll play it again. Wouldn't be for the channel, obviously. On my own time though, I'm sure I'll want to go through Ray's story again, like for my spare time. I think I actually have the PS4 version because I have the digital deluxe, so I'll probably do that like 3 years from now. On my own time, obviously. There's no need to do Star Ocean 6 on YouTube again. But, you know, for myself, I'll probably play it again. It was great fun. Star Ocean 6 is great. It's a good game. As far as Star Ocean goes, I know I still have to play Star Ocean 1. I will one day. I don't know when I'll do that. I'll do it eventually. I don't know when, but I'll do it eventually. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, good stuff. Great playthrough. Glad of how it turned out, basically. So yeah. Tomorrow we're doing SMT4. We might finish it, or we have like 2 streams left, something like that. We're getting close to the end of that game. We're gonna do SMT4 tomorrow. We'll see how far we get. And then Thursday we're playing Paper Mario. I'm streaming in the morning because I have something later in the day. But Thursday will be Paper Mario. Friday will probably also be Paper Mario, and then Saturday will be like Persona 5 Royal. And if I'm not done with SMT4, we'll do that on like Monday or something. And then June 4th, I know I'm starting something new, specifically June 4th for a reason. So yeah. Great stuff. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.